Welcome back to the Old Photo Vault channel. Get ready for a real journey through time. Stay with me until the end, because the conclusion may surprise you. Don't forget to leave a like to support our work and share your thoughts in the comments. The Fearless Worker, New York City, 1930s, perched high above the bustling streets of Manhattan. A construction worker sits confidently on the iconic gargoyle of the Chrysler Building, tipping his hat to the world below. This daring pose, captured during the skyscraper boom of the 1930s, embodies the fearless spirit and ambition that built New York's skyline. There were no safety harnesses, no protective gear, just raw courage and determination. The city stretches endlessly beneath him, a maze of dreams and steel. It's a breathtaking reminder of the men who risked everything to raise a city into the clouds. Bruce Lee and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hong Kong, 1972. In this remarkable photo, martial arts legend Bruce Lee stands beside his towering student and friend, NBA star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The stark contrast in their heights, 1.68 meters to 2.18 meters, makes for an unforgettable image of discipline meeting strength. This moment was captured during the filming of Game of Death, where their epic duels symbolized the meeting of two worlds, East and West, mind and body. Despite their differences in size, both men shared the same pursuit, mastery over self. Their friendship remains one of the most fascinating connections between sports and martial arts history. Prisoners before the tribunal, Beijing, China, early 1900s. This haunting photograph captures a grim moment from the early 20th century in China, where prisoners stand before a colonial tribunal bound in wooden cangs, heavy punishment collars meant to shame and immobilize. The foreign soldiers on each side, with rifles in hand, add a chilling sense of dominance and tension. The word tribunale above the door hints at Western control during an era of political humiliation and foreign occupation. The faces of the prisoners tell silent stories of endurance and despair, framed by a system where justice and power rarely met. It's a stark reminder of how oppression often wears the mask of order. The giant grasshopper hoax. Miles City, Montana, 1917. This curious photograph, labeled Grasshopper Shot near Miles City, Mont, shows a man proudly posing with what appears to be an enormous insect, towering as long as his torso. In truth, it was an early example of photographic trickery, created by combining two negatives to produce a surreal image. During the early 1900s, such novelty photos were wildly popular in rural America, blending humor and wonder at a time when imagination filled the gaps of reality. The man's calm pride and the absurdity of his catch capture the playful spirit of an age when the impossible could still be believed through the lens of a camera. Turbine Assembly, Heidenheim, Germany, 1924. This extraordinary photograph shows a worker sitting inside the enormous steel spiral casing of a Voith hydroelectric turbine, one of the engineering marvels of the early 20th century. The sheer scale of the machinery dwarfs the man, illustrating both human ingenuity and humility before industrial progress. Every rivet, plate, and curve speaks to an era when craftsmanship met monumental ambition. These turbines powered the future, bringing light, motion, and energy to a rapidly modernizing Europe. It's a breathtaking image of man and machine in perfect harmony, captured at the dawn of modern engineering. The skeleton of the Zeppelin, Friedrichshafen, Germany, 1928. A lone worker walks the fragile steel frame of a colossal airship under construction. A Zeppelin taking form inside the massive hangar at Friedrichshafen. The intricate latticework of girders stretches endlessly, like the rib cage of a metallic leviathan suspended in air. Every step taken by the worker seems to echo with both courage and precision, balancing human fragility against monumental ambition. These floating giants once symbolized mankind's dream, to conquer the skies with grace and engineering brilliance. The photograph captures a breathtaking moment when imagination and metal intertwined to shape the future of flight. The Diving Horse, Atlantic City, USA, 1920s. This astonishing photograph captures a diving horse act, a once popular attraction in early 20th century America. A horse and rider would leap together from a high platform into a pool of water below. Thrilling crowds at fairs and boardwalk shows, particularly in Atlantic City. The stunt, equal parts daring and controversial, symbolized both the fearless spectacle of the era and its disregard for animal welfare. Despite its danger, audiences were mesmerized by the image of strength and grace in midair. Today, the diving horse stands as a haunting relic of a time when entertainment often danced on the edge of risk and cruelty. Ostrich Carriage Ride. Nice, France, 1920s. In this whimsical snapshot from the 1920s, a man confidently steers an ostrich-drawn carriage along the promenade in Nice. The elegant bird, tall and proud, strides with surprising poise, while curious onlookers watch in amusement. During this era of innovation and eccentricity, people sought delight in the unusual, and ostrich racing briefly became a fashionable novelty in Europe and America. The image captures not just humor, but the playful spirit of an age unafraid to experiment. It's a delightful reminder that history, too, had its moments of wild imagination. The captured creature, Appalachian Mountains, USA, 1895. This eerie photograph appears to show a group of men posing with a massive, humanoid figure covered in shaggy fur, a supposed wild man, or early depiction of the legendary Bigfoot. The image, likely staged in the late 19th century, captures the fascination and fear of the unknown that defined frontier folklore. In an age of exploration and tall tales, such photos blurred the line between science and superstition, often created to stir curiosity or sell newspapers. Yet, even knowing it may be a hoax, the haunting stillness of this scene continues to spark imagination. A frozen whisper from the mythic edge of history. The Daring Officer, Times Square, New York City, 1930s. High above the bustling streets of Times Square, a uniformed officer hangs fearlessly from a steel beam, smiling as if defying gravity itself. Below him, the city moves in miniature. Cars, crowds, and lights, forming a dizzying blur of motion. This photograph captures the audacious spirit of early urban America, when courage and spectacle went hand in hand. Whether staged for publicity or pure thrill, the image freezes a moment of human daring suspended between steel and sky. It's a timeless tribute to those who found joy and bravado even on the edge of danger. The Dinosaur Unveiled. Paris, France, 1910s. Visitors gather in awe beneath the towering skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, newly assembled inside a grand Parisian museum hall. The air is thick with wonder. A collision of science and imagination as people stand face to face with a creature that once ruled the earth. The intricate steel and bone structure looms like a cathedral to prehistory, symbolizing humankind's growing hunger to uncover the mysteries of time. This photograph captures more than an exhibit. It records a turning point when the past became tangible and the age of dinosaurs stepped into the light of modern discovery. Mount Rushmore under construction. South Dakota, USA. 1934. This powerful photograph shows the monumental task of carving Mount Rushmore, one of America's most ambitious sculptures. Workers appear like ants beside the colossal faces of Presidents Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln, painstakingly chiseled from solid granite. Created under the vision of sculptor Gutzon Borglum, the project demanded daring precision. Men suspended on ropes, using dynamite and drills to shape history itself. Each blow of the hammer brought the nation's ideals of leadership and endurance to life. This image captures not just craftsmanship on a grand scale, but the human spirit that dares to leave its mark on stone and time alike. The giant aerial camera, United States, 1944. This striking photograph shows a World War II aerial reconnaissance officer holding one of the largest cameras ever built for military use. Designed to capture high-altitude images from bomber aircraft, this massive machine could photograph entire cities in astonishing detail. Its lens, large enough to resemble a small cannon, symbolizes the era when information became as powerful as weaponry. These cameras were vital tools in mapping enemy positions and planning missions, turning photography into a silent form of warfare. Behind the soldier's focused gaze lies a story of precision, technology, and the unseen battles fought through the eye of a lens. Building the Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco, USA, 1935. Suspended high above the bay, a team of workers carefully maneuvers a massive cable during the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge. One of the greatest engineering feats of the 20th century. With no safety harnesses and only the wind for company, these men worked hundreds of feet above the water, threading steel and determination together to create an icon of modern America. The image captures both the peril and pride of those who built the impossible, their silhouettes etched against the foggy horizon. It's a breathtaking testament to courage, craftsmanship, and the audacity of human ambition. The giant redwood log. California, USA, 1892. Standing before the colossal cross-section of a fallen redwood, three people pose to show its unbelievable scale. The tree's diameter, wider than a horse-drawn wagon. This photograph, taken in the late 19th century, reflects both the awe and tragedy of an age when nature's giants were conquered in the name of progress. The sheer size of the saw and ladder beside the log speaks of human persistence, but also of a world that was rapidly vanishing. These ancient trees, thousands of years old, were witnesses to history long before they fell. The image is a silent monument to both human ambition and nature's fragile majesty. Behind the mask, Hollywood, USA, 1968. A moment of quiet irony on a Hollywood set. An actor from Planet of the Apes takes a break under the sun, sipping a drink through a straw while still wearing his full ape makeup. The mirrored sunglasses and relaxed posture contrast sharply with the elaborate prosthetics that transformed him into something otherworldly. It's a rare behind-the-scenes glimpse into the surreal world of 1960s cinema, where groundbreaking special effects met human humor. Beneath the mask, the actor's casual ease reminds us that even the most extraordinary illusions are brought to life by ordinary people. Easter feast preparation. Crete, Greece, 1950s. Villagers gather in a narrow courtyard, tending to rows of lambs roasting over open coals. A traditional Easter celebration in mid-century Greece. The air shimmers with heat and laughter, the smoky aroma mingling with conversations that flow as naturally as the fire itself. This ritual, passed down through generations, is more than just a meal. It's a symbol of rebirth, community, and gratitude. The men carefully turn the spits while women watch, chat, and wait for the feast to begin. In this timeless scene, food becomes the heart of togetherness, binding people through warmth, patience, and shared joy. The elastic-skinned man. London, England, 1930s. This remarkable photograph shows a sideshow performer known for his incredibly elastic skin, a condition caused by Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a rare connective tissue disorder. In the early 20th century, such individuals often found work in circuses and traveling exhibitions, astonishing crowds with feats that blurred the line between medical curiosity and entertainment. Though the image may seem unsettling, it reflects a time when difference itself became spectacle, and resilience was performed beneath the bright lights of the carnival. Behind the unusual appearance was often a story of endurance, dignity, and survival in a world that prized the extraordinary. The Pig Ride. London, England, 1919. In this charming and peculiar photograph, a young boy sits atop a large pig fitted with reins, while a man in uniform stands proudly beside him, and a small donkey looks on. Captured in post-World War I on London, the image radiates both innocence and whimsy, a glimpse into simpler days when joy could be found in the most unexpected forms. Animals often served as companions and playmates for children, and the idea of turning a pig into a pony ride was likely as amusing then as it is today. This delightful moment freezes a rare blend of humor, affection, and everyday imagination. The Gentleman and the Giant Insect. Berlin, Germany, 1932. In this surreal and unsettling image, a man in formal attire stands beside what appears to be a gigantic insect, part sculpture, part nightmare. The photograph is believed to have been created by an avant-garde artist experimenting with surrealist photography in pre-war Germany, blending humor, absurdity, and quiet dread. The sharp contrast between the man's composed elegance and the monstrous creature beside him evokes the unease of a world caught between science and imagination. Whether intended as satire or symbolism, the image remains haunting. A portrait of human curiosity staring calmly into the face of the absurd. At the top of Cologne Cathedral, Cologne, Germany, 1930s, perched hundreds of feet above the city, three daring workers stand atop one of the spires of Cologne Cathedral, the Gothic masterpiece that has towered over the Rhine for centuries. With no visible safety gear, they balance fearlessly on narrow ledges as the wind sweeps through the sky. One man waves his hat proudly, a small human gesture against the vast expanse below. This breathtaking photograph captures not only the scale of the cathedral, but also the courage and craftsmanship of those who maintained it. It's a portrait of human daring in harmony with divine architecture. The early deep sea suit, New York Harbor, USA, 1911. This extraordinary photograph captures one of the earliest experimental atmospheric diving suits, designed to withstand the crushing pressure of the ocean depths. The diver, encased in heavy steel armor with jointed limbs and hoses for air supply, resembles a figure from science fiction. Yet, this was cutting-edge technology for its time. Engineers and inventors in the early 1900s were driven by a fascination with the unexplored world beneath the sea, pushing the boundaries of human endurance and engineering. The image stands as a monument to that era's bold imagination, when the dream of walking on the ocean floor first became real. Acoustic locator device, United Kingdom, 1917. Before the invention of radar, devices like this strange contraption, known as an acoustic locator, were used to detect the sound of incoming enemy aircraft. Large metal horns amplify distant noises, allowing operators to determine direction by ear. This photograph from World War I shows an engineer testing one of these early listening machines, standing amidst the barren landscape with his head framed by the enormous funnels. Though now obsolete, such inventions marked a crucial step toward modern sound detection and military technology. The image captures the blend of ingenuity and desperation that defined wartime innovation. The African Samurai, Japan, 16th century, reimagined photo. This evocative image reimagines the legendary story of Yasuke, the African warrior who became a samurai in the service of Lord Oda Nobunaga during Japan's Sengoku period, dressed in full armor beside a Japanese woman and child. He stands before a castle, embodying the union of two distant worlds. While this photo is a modern artistic recreation, it captures the essence of Yasuke's remarkable journey. From foreign outsider to trusted warrior in one of history's most disciplined and honor-bound cultures. The composition radiates dignity and quiet strength, a tribute to a figure who defied both time and convention. The Torch of Liberty, Paris, France, 1876. This historic photograph shows the construction of the Statue of Liberty's torch in a Paris workshop, years before the monument was shipped to New York. French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi and his team meticulously crafted each piece by hand, combining artistry and engineering on a monumental scale. The torch, symbolizing enlightenment and freedom, towers above the workers who seem almost miniature beside it. This image captures the birth of an icon, a collaboration between France and America that would soon shine as a beacon of hope to millions arriving on distant shores. The Giant Plant Exhibition, London, England, 1890s, staged photograph. This surreal photograph depicts a group of elegantly dressed Victorians admiring what appears to be an enormous plant, towering inside a greenhouse. While it seems like a scene from a lost world, the image was actually a staged composition, part of the late 19th century fascination with botanical exploration and the exotic. Such fantastical displays were often created for early photo manipulation or as promotional curiosities, blending science and imagination. The towering plant symbolizes both human wonder and the era's ambition to master nature's mysteries. Even today, it evokes the same sense of awe the Victorians must have felt when imagining the untamed world beyond their gardens. The Giant Drill Head, Sheffield, England, 1930s. This remarkable photograph shows two engineers posing beside an enormous rotary drill head used in early tunneling and mining operations. Crafted from heavy steel and fitted with massive scooped blades, the machine represents a triumph of industrial design from the age of steam and iron. The man seated atop the drill gives a sense of its staggering scale, a tool capable of boring through rock to carve out the foundations of modern infrastructure. In the stillness of the workshop, the image captures the raw power and ambition of an era when human ingenuity was measured in bolts, rivets, and iron dreams. Anti-flash protection suit, prototype. Germany, 1940s. This unusual photograph shows an experimental protective suit developed during the 1940s, likely intended for testing against intense light or blast waves, possibly from explosions or early jet engines. The enormous helmet, shaped like a rectangular visor, was designed to shield the wearer's eyes and head from extreme brightness and heat. Such prototypes, though awkward in appearance, were part of a broader effort to understand human endurance under extreme conditions during wartime research. The image stands as a strange fusion of science fiction and military necessity, reflecting a time when innovation often bordered on the surreal. Surreal still life. Paris, France, 1936. This haunting photograph is a surrealist composition created during the height of Europe's avant-garde movement in the 1930s. Blending classical imagery with eerie symbolism, the piece features a disembodied head crowned with flowers and pearls, resting beside strange architectural and celestial motifs. The image challenges the boundary between beauty and decay, illusion and reality, a visual poem to the subconscious. Artists of this era, inspired by dreams and Freud's theories, sought to expose the hidden language of the mind. The result is both unsettling and mesmerizing, a frozen whisper from the surreal world where logic dissolves into imagination. Ceremonial masks of the Sepik, Papua New Guinea, early 1900s. This remarkable photograph captures two men wearing towering ceremonial masks from the Sepik River region of Papua New Guinea. These woven costumes, crafted from reeds, bark, and natural fibers, represent ancestral spirits and were traditionally used in initiation rites and sacred dances. The elongated forms and haunting faces embody the deep spiritual connection between the living and the unseen world. Behind them, villagers and elders stand in solemn respect, witnessing a ritual that bridges generations. The image is both mysterious and reverent, a rare glimpse into one of humanity's most intricate and symbolic cultural traditions. Creature from the Black Lagoon, Florida, USA, 1954. This iconic photograph captures a behind-the-scenes moment from the filming of Creature from the Black Lagoon, one of the classic Universal monster movies of the 1950s. The actor inside the creature suit, encased in latex and scales, carefully carries actress Julie Adams through the lagoon's shallow waters. The scene, equal parts eerie and romantic, became one of cinema's most unforgettable images. The monster not as pure evil, but as something tragically human. Shot in stark black and white, the photo preserves the magic of an era when imagination and practical effects gave life to Hollywood's darkest dreams. Inventor testing one-man submarine. Oakland, California, 1951. This fascinating photograph shows inventor James Hale testing his homemade one-man submarine on the calm waters of Oakland in 1951. The small, riveted metal craft, resembling a mix between a torpedo and a tank, was designed for underwater exploration and personal adventure. Hale's determined expression peering from the tiny viewing hatch captures the spirit of post-war innovation. A time when curiosity and courage drove individuals to create extraordinary machines in their backyards. Though crude in design, the invention symbolizes human ingenuity and the eternal desire to dive deeper into the unknown.